Well, good morning, kids. How's everybody doing out there in Snowland, if you live where I am? Seems to be melting a little bit today. Not enough, though, for me. Okay, I get asked all the time, do I have acoustics in my collection of guitars? Yes, I do. I have lots of them. Not really lots, but I think I have five, maybe six. I really, honestly, only have one good one, which is my dad's old Gibson from the 50s. It's a country and western. It's my pride and joy. Um, and I've actually written an acoustic song with it. It's an original. That'll be out a little bit later. But I am not an acoustic guitar fan. So let's start off first. I'm a drummer that likes to play guitar. So my main instrument is drums. So I'm basically hard on acoustics and electric guitars. I almost play them like I'm playing a drum set. So I'm looking for a rugged guitar that can take a little punishment. I love sitting outside on a warm summer day, which will probably never come this year here. Sitting in a lawn chair playing guitar, and I find a regular acoustic body a pain in the ass to do that. I don't feel comfortable with them. When I'm upstairs sitting there watching TV in my nice comfy chair with the big arms, well, the acoustic is like this. It's stuck up on the arm and I can't play it. So years and years ago, I walked into the music store, the local music store, and I found this. This is I love Telecasters, Fender Telecasters. I love that body style. Some hate it, I don't. I love them. I've got a US Tele and I've got a G&L Tele and a SAT, I think they call it. But I wanted something that I could just sit comfortably and, work on my original material without having to, contort my body in some weird shape or have the edge of the guitar cut the circulation off in my rib cage while I'm sitting in my comfy chair or my lawn chair. So anyways, I walked into a music store and saw this on the wall, and it was like $200, $199. And I think it was used. They weren't much new. I think maybe $250 new. This one here, you can see the tag on it, is a 2000 or January 2001 Telecoustic. Okay? And basically an acoustic based on the Fender Telecaster body, and oddly enough, a Telecaster neck. Perfect. Love it for that. In it has I believe, don't quote me, a piezo type pickup in it, and this is battery operated, 9-volt, 4-band EQ plus volume, and a power switch on and off. So the pickup is in here. I'm not quite sure how they work. Now I always thought this was a Fishman pickup in this. And I always thought the original run of these, which I think started in 2000. There are other versions earlier on, because I know I played in a band with a girl singer, and she had one. And I don't think it had the hole like this. I think it was solid, but it still had the controls here. But this style, I think, came out in 2000. So I always thought the 2000 had this system here, and I thought it was a Fishman setup. I was basically disappointed to find out that the year after is when they switched to the Fishman stuff. So I'm not quite sure what that, obviously it's Fender Electronics and not Fishman, because I think Fishman has their name on it. The Fishman came in 2001. Well, this is 2001. And I don't see Fishman written on this. I looked inside, I couldn't see it either. So somebody enlighten me. I'm lost there. Needless to say, the electronics work totally fine. I love it. I would not go out and buy an acoustic amp with this. I just run it through the PA system. If I'm playing, I have a bunch of PA systems set up here. There's one here in this room, speakers over here, and it's got a rack system here. But on my other side of my studio, I have these small, I forget the speaker, powered speakers anyways, like PA speaker stuff. Little 8 or 10 inch speakers. And it sounds great in those. And those things are like, 800 watts or something like that. Obviously you don't need 800 watts. Works great. But when I'm just sitting up watching TV and doodling with this, it works perfectly, just acoustically. The neck feels great. I can't remember the gauge of strings, but they're you don't want to, honestly, I've heard of horror stories of putting heavier strings on these and the neck going crazy, blowing, but I just tried to stick with the same gauge it came with. So I've had my guitar buddies play this, and they went, ugh, because they're thinking acoustic. They want it to sound and play like an acoustic. And me being a drummer, it's like, well, that's not why I bought it. Acoustic players, I understand them being disappointed in this. First of all, it's $200. Secondly, to get it to sound good in the PA system, you definitely have to play around with the EQ. But it does sound pretty good. I've used it on a few of my originals, and it sounds great for my purpose. The downfall is you can't set intonation like an electric, but it seems to stay in. Now it's a little grungy looking right now because I've been doing a lot of playing and stuff, writing songs, but so far the action's maintained. And I haven't had any issues except got a hairline crack right there. So I bought this used. So the top is basically some type of wood. Don't know what it is. The back is like some type of plastic or fiberglass. And you get what you paid for. But it turned out to be a nice surprise for me. And I use it a lot for songwriting and just keeping my fingers in shape. And it's definitely a need for a cleaning right now and a string change, but still holding up pretty good. So, who would I recommend this to? I will say flat out, when I was younger and I started learning to play guitar, I was on an acoustic. And I was on my dad's 50s Gibson. And the body on that, for a little person, as a kid, I found it hard to play, being that the body was so thick and getting my arm around. So, if you're a youngster, I would say in a comfort type situation, this is easier to play than an acoustic. The neck is easier to make the chords. It's half the thickness easy, give or take. And you have the advantage of being able to plug it in. All the electronics are there, and you just plug it in right here. And everybody's asking, this is the traditional clip from a loaf of bread holding that strap on. Yes, I'm cheap. It works fine. This acoustic never really does anything but write acoustic or write original songs for me, so I'm not on a world tour. So the bread bag clip works fine, perfectly fine to hold the strap on. Yeah, so for little kids starting out, fine to use one of these. Won't break the bank. You just got to watch for that neck. So, you know, if you're in a pawn shop and you don't know about necks, guitar necks and the twisting of the neck and the arc of the neck, you definitely don't want one that's like a spoon. You definitely don't want to buy that. So they are adjustable, but only within a certain tolerance there. You know, if it's really bad, then the neck will never, in most cases, never come straight with the adjustment. And you adjust it in there, the truss rod. So, yeah, it's a great little instrument. There's nothing wrong with it for just campfire stuff, sitting out in the garage, writing songs, sitting in the nice comfy chair. And yes, I have other acoustics, and I you know, I like playing them, but see, even in this chair, I got arms here. It would be hitting with my other acoustic. The circulation of my arm would be cut off just by doing this 10-15 minute video. So it's all about comfort for me, and right now it's like just perfect. Now it is a little headstock heavy. In fact, I would say the neck weighs more than the body itself. That could be annoying if you were playing live, but I don't play live. But as just a general work tool, get one of these if you can find them. I think they still make them, but obviously find a used one. And I'll be honest, I got this little crack right here and this little crack here. Doesn't affect the sound at all. In fact, there's nothing wrong with the block in here. Some of these early ones I've read and saw videos online that it has nothing to do with the block that holds the neck whatsoever. It's just some of the wood shrinks, starts to shrink. This crack here, I'm not quite sure what the deal is, what that is. It has not affected at all. It still plays great, and you know, it just looks like shrinkage. The wood starts to dry out, so we're not in a controlled environment down here. It's usually a little warmer than usual, especially when the electronics are all going. When it's in its case, yeah, okay, it's fine, but it's always out in my studio, so it could have dried out, who knows. But hey, 199 bucks. And I paid 199 bucks when they came out, because it was used in that year, so I've owned it since then, so it's at 26 years. So sure, you don't want to see a crack in it, but it's never going to be a collector piece. I mean, the workmanship is okay, but not great. Like, I find the frets up here, like these two right here, have a little bit of an edge, but I don't play up here. And the only time I might get my hand severed is if I'm playing up here, but it's not bad. Sure, I could fix it, but I'm lazy. It's a work tool. It's not an art piece, and it's definitely not a top quality instrument. Could I make it better by filing that down? Of course. But it's going to add character. So when I pass away and this guitar gets sold, my DNA will be in there. It'll up the value. Guaranteed. My parts of my flesh stuck in that little sharp fret. Glenn Thomas was here. That's what it's going to say. Yes. It'll up it at least $4 in value. So anyways, kids, that's the scoop. I have acoustics. Sad to say, this is the one I use the most. Yes, it pisses every guitar player that I know off when they play it. I've lent it to them to play live gigs. They come back, take this friggin' thing from me. But because they play top quality electric and top quality acoustics, they don't see the value in this that I do. So whereas I see it as a $200 guitar used, I see it as a comfort thing. Plays great. Sound, you really have to EQ it. Don't use an acoustic amp with it. I've tried it. Too much money for an acoustic amp to play through. Use it through a PA system or one of those little powered speakers with a simple EQ on it. Works great. With a horn, you got 4-band EQ. I get a pretty good sound out of it. My guitar players, they need to be babied a little bit, you know, with the higher price stuff, but nope. We'll go with this. Thanks for watching.